Welcome everybody to Risen Esports as we get ready for week 3 of Open Unstoppable here on this fine Friday evening. I am Banana Bread XD, your play-by-play, joined by Thousand Eyes, my color caster here. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing all right. I am ready for these games. It's been a long week, and it's nice to just be able to kick back and watch some two teams beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, man, both these teams are about lowest silver, highest about plat 3-ish, 2-ish. So it's gonna be a bit of a clown fiesta, you know. We know how these low elo games go, but it's still going to be a good night. Best of 3, of course, same as every other format. As on the blue side here, we have the Beluga Beans. They are currently 2-0 in the standings against Team Edward on the red side that are 0-2. So we're going to see if Team Edward can come off with a win here this week over the undefeated team in their little division here out of 3. As we look at the bans here so far, Anivia, Sejuani, Camille, and Jace off the board already.
Yeah, all these are just like pocket picks, just targeting just the champion pools here. Nothing meta yet. Everything here has just been target bans. The Lilia is actually going to be picked up here first. The Udyr is still available. Seraphine is also still available for people. So there are a lot of power picks still on the board here for Team Edward if they want to pick that up.
Yeah, man, just a lot of these picks are just, as you said, like a lot of target bans just because these people play them a lot. Lilia is a very nice blind pick, very good, clears very fast through the jungle, can run very fast, can set up ganks pretty well with the Swirl Seed, but you have to try to get a strike with it first if you're going to try to get anything. Mundo will be locked in. Most likely will go jungle because that has been the meta, but we'll see where it goes as it is still reasonably flexible between top and jungle still here.
Yeah, and the Lilia is a pick away from Team Edward. The big muscle plays a lot of Lilia, and Dr. Mundo is the next one down on that listing there. Jinx being picked up here. I really like Jinx in the current meta. I think her buffs that she's gotten have made her really strong, and she can pop off very easily. She has the longer range, she has the faster attack speed, and she's able to survive in the early game a lot better. She's actually kind of tanky.
Yeah, man, those buffs on Jinx with the max health and the increased range on her rockets just does so many things for her here. Nautilus will be grabbed here in the support position for the side of Beluga Beans. Vladimir is being hovered. Let's see. Milk Bubble Tea, without an A, of course, does play some Vladimir. He is pretty adept at it. It's a little bit of a scaling pick, but instead it will be swapped off and they will pick the Lucian here.
Yeah, most likely going to be going in that mid lane there. Just taking a look through the champion pools here. Epoch has the Lucian in there, Nora of the Four does not. So pretty safe to say that is a mid lane Lucian. Pairs well with the Lilia so that you do have some AP damage in your composition. The Rel going to be the pickup here, and already we've got a big front line for this Jinx. So I'm liking the composition that Team Edward is building so far. I just want to see a little bit more damage so that Jinx isn't the only one trying to do it all.
Yeah, generally with a Jinx, you kind of want to pick a enchanter, but you can also, kind of flip the script a little bit and just go full on engage if they don't have enough dive. For Beluga Beans, they only have the depth charge from the Nautilus for backline access at the moment, and maybe the Swirl Seed if she lands a really good split down the middle. But it is going to be pretty hard to try to hit this Jinx through all this backline access. Team Edward will be banning out a lot of these strong early game dive type ADCs here. Might see a Kai'Sa ban go through because or not a Kai'Sa ban, maybe like an MF or an Ezreal ban, because those are still relatively prevalent, but they aren't as strong as maybe the Kai'Sa or the MF. So instead they'll blend the Vladimir here. Milk Bubble Tea does play that a bit in the top lane, as we said before, as they did hover it as a little bit of a pick at him.
Yeah, the Vladimir here also does kind of hurt themselves here because the top laner is a substitution right now. Big Chill is not the usual top laner, does not have a lot of top lane games, but one of the champions that does go top lane in his champion pool is the Vladimir, so it does hurt a little bit to take that one away from themselves. We'll see now. Team Edward available is just a little bit more of a mid lane pick. We want to see something that has a little more DPS, something that can bring a little bit of pressure away from the Jinx. You said like you usually like the Enchantress. I like the Rel here because Rel can peel extremely well if you give her that job to do. She can just absolutely lock people down for an extended amount of time. Even when she dives, she still has the attract and repel that can stun people, and it's a lot of CC that is hard to work through. The Vel'Koz is now going to be picked up. Yeah. And yeah, that missed ban was a Diana ban, just did not actually go through.
Yep. You are asking for more damage. Vel'Koz is going to be grabbed up on the table here for Team Edward. Toaster Bathtub doesn't necessarily play it, but does kind of match with his playstyle. He does play a lot of those kind of spellcaster control mages mid. So Vel'Koz is definitely one of the very strong ones here. Vayne will be picked up in the bot lane for Nor of the 4. And the Renekton is going to be hovered here. We now know the Lucian will go mid. So Renekton will be grabbed here. So we're going to see what Team Edwards pick by giving Big Chill the counter pick here.
Yeah, Renekton also a takeaway there. One of the few top laners Big Chill has in that champ pool. So I like that pick up here. The Vayne is an interesting one here. Beluga Bean's team is very short range. When like Lucian is your longest range champion, you are building just a death ball type of composition here. It does worry me in this lane here with the Vayne because Rel can really just be ready on a moment's notice to dive in on this Vayne if she uses Tumble wrong, and Jinx will be able to stay so far back from this Vayne that Nautilus basically has to hit a really good hook. The Kennen now going to be picked up here as a counter pick to the Renekton. That is a lane that really is not fun for Renekton, but if he gets either jungle help or he's capable of just getting if Renekton could just jump onto the Kennen consistently, then you see a lane where Renekton can start to get really big and take over the game.
So, like, Team Edward, they have a pretty decent comp overall. They can play front to back. They have a lot of different play styles they can do it. They can go full on team fight with the slicing maelstrom and the ult from Rel here. They have a lot of flexibility with Team Edward. Beluga Beans, they drafted the Vayne specifically for the Mundo. The Mundo, not many things can kind of chunk through it, even if you have Leandries and all that. So you kind of wanted to draft. The Vayne was pretty much a necessity at that time, at that moment. And then you have just like a lot of short range stuff. Beluga Beans, their team is specifically meant to kind of go in, either go in or play front to back and try to peel off these tanks and try to rip through the tanks, then immediately head straight for the backline with the Nautilus. But both sides have a little bit of a complicated map to maybe execute a team fight. It's not as straightforward as you would like, but we're gonna have to see how both these teams kind of put their resources where they need to.
Yeah, that kind of is the question here. I'm curious because like when you look at these objective fights, Beluga Bean basically needs to be the initiators here. If they are playing on the back foot, if they are not first to those objectives, it's going to be really hard for them to try and take things back. The Nautilus has a lot of pressure here to get those hooks down and initiate the fights because there is nobody else who is really going to be able to do much. Lilia, if she tries to walk up this Mundo and the Kennen and Vel'Koz, they can just pelt damage down to her and just whittle her down before she can even get into the fight. Team Edward here, they have the opportunity to just sit back, scale up, and get into these fights. As long as they're playing with a little bit of tempo, that is going to be a hard team composition to crack.
Yeah, just like looking at how Beluga Bean drafted, They drafted more towards a kind of like a react kind of either taking away or to counter whatever composition that Team Edwards was looking for. As the Condemned against the Rel, that is a pretty good counter if she is trying to go in with the Ferromancy, and the Nautilus isn't too bad here. You also have the Hard Engage in the front line, but you have to kind of it requires a lot of macro and micro thinking because you can't just go in on every single hook. You kind of have to time your hooks, know when to go in with those picks, and see if you can get a good ultimate off for the Nautilus to get into the backline. But just looking at these drafts so far, man, what are your thoughts? Who's gonna what do you expect to see out of these two teams early?
Yeah, I think what you need to see is a lot of pressure early on. The Lucian has that early game prowess into the Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz cannot really consistently stop Lucian from jumping in on him. Obviously, the Lilia's early game ganks are not terribly great, so it is going to be a little rough. It's going to basically be those solo laners trying to make something happen here. The Renekton versus the Kennen, like I said, that is going to be Kennen favored unless Milk Bubble Tea can capitalize on a mistake that Big Chill makes. Renekton basically is just going to get auto attack down over and over again. However, the burst damage from Renekton can blow up this Kennen if a mistake is made. But bot lane is gonna be rough for Nora of the Four here unless they really, really screw up. The early game damage of the Vayne is good compared to the Jinx, but the question is, are they ever going to get a chance to actually hit the Jinx when she has those rockets out?
Yeah, just I want to see if Pre-Medic can kind of get those auto trades in between every CS, kind of look for those small micro details and poke out the Vayne as much as possible, put her behind, and then you could look for the early prio on these objectives. But as we wait for the spectator delay to go down, we're going to be taking a short little break. But while we wait to load onto Summoner's Rift, and we'll be right back with y'all. Welcome back, everybody, to week 3 of Open Unstoppable here as we get onto Summoner's Rift between the Beluga Beans and Team Edward. And already, right at the beginning, Beluga Beans is looking for a couple cheesy antics here already.
Yeah, grouping up here. I think this is probably just going to be the early ward in that jungle there. As is the norm in competitive play, you want to group up, you want to try and get vision on those raptors. It lets you see where the jungler's coming, where the jungler is, what they've taken. It really gives you a lot of info on the pathing there.
Ooh, looks like Lucian will get the first ward here. Like, what's interesting is if a solo lane gets the additional ward kill, like if you get a ward kill early, it's pretty much, it gives you the little boost to hit level 2 off the first wave, and it just gives you such a boost to get into lane and look for aggressive plays, just because in solo lanes, whoever gets the level advantage, it's so important here. So it looks like Lilia will start her blue buff here, and Mundo will start Raptors with his W here.
Yeah, Ebok actually helping with the leash. We'll lose a little bit in terms of minions for that, but on the other side, you're seeing the Mundo starting alone, and they got some pings onto the red buff. They have an idea that Mundo started at the Raptors, but it is a little bit hard to tell when you don't get that leash.
Ooh, looks like Devin's going in here. Since Big Muscle didn't get a leash, he could look to go over the wall and get a little something here. Did smite, so if Devin does get something here, he has Q and W.
Yeah,
so it looks like he's gonna go and get the
his
blooming blow. Ooh, gonna try to get the W down. Blooming blow doesn't quite hit here. Gonna land the smite onto the big one, or no, the second one. And
yeah,
it looks like
trying to get those low and take the minions before Mundo can try and fight for them at all. That's really smart understanding of how Mundo really plays and how low he can get in the jungle, especially with the lack of the leash. That is the price you can pay for it if your team is not capable of turning and helping you out.
yeah, it's just like so right now Mundo is still at a CS advantage. He did get the big Krug in the end, so, you know, you still kind of went out a little bit. Oh, bot side here. Nautilus is going to flash in, get the auto attack, going to land the hook onto the Jinx here. Ferromancy and Attract Repel are going to stun up the Nautilus a little bit. Slim's going to get chunked out a lot, PK proc going down, but that will be the end of that. GB flashing forward, and Jinx will also flash backwards. So that is a trade for trade on flashes there in the bot lane.
Yeah, and it's almost always a beneficial trade to get the 80 carry flash out. You can see the Hex flash is there and not going to turn into anything. But now the Jinx has to play super safe without that flash safety. So going to have to respect the Nautilus a lot more than she was previously.
It looks like a lot of pings are coming down onto the bot scuttle. Both sides are going to kind of contest it, but Beluga Beans will be the first there, as bot lane Bot lane did get pushed in for the side of Team Edward here. So Devin will get the bot scuttle. Top side, Reactant Milk Bubble Tea did go for a cheater recall here. Big Chill is going to kind of have to sit in this wave with only his Doran's ring. Ooh, bot side here. He's going to come out. Slim's going to get chunked out a lot. Rocket's coming down, raining upon Nor of the 4 here. So there's another summoner. There's 2 summoners actually coming out from Team Edwards here. A really good hook from QB56.
Yeah, and honestly, that was more just Slim making a bad engage there. Going on to the Vayne, Jinx was way out of range to be able to help immediately. And then you always have to be aware when you go in on Rel that you are either going to have to get a kill or take a butt ton of damage on the way back, because you're so slow that any marksman will be able to just poke the ever-living crap out of
you. Yeah, like, that's a struggle about playing a Rel into a Vayne, is because, ooh, there comes the crash down for Slim, but Slim's just going to get condemned into the wall. Silverbolt's going to come down. Lots of damage coming through onto Slim. Slim's going to get ignited up. Silverbolt's coming down. The Ignite's coming on both sides, but heal's going to come out. Save QB56, and First Blood will go over to Nor of the 4 here.
Yeah, and once again, there is the Rel issue where, like, if you go in, you better hope you're getting a kill, or you're just going to get just the crap beat out of you. the condemn into the wall. Slim then getting rooted by the Nautilus auto. That is so hard to deal with as Rel, and I feel like this is a Rel lane that you basically play kind of passive in. You're not looking to try and win fights this early on, because Vayne's Silver Bolts is going to be a lot more impactful than anything Jinx has.
Yeah, it's just like with a Rel, like you're so dependent on your W landing. If it does not land, you're pretty much in a world of hurt, especially since they used the flash earlier in that kind of little trade early game. So she's basically base movement speed and no flash. So you're just kind of a sitting duck, especially when you're near that wall and you're just going to get hit with all the CC. Nautilus being one of the few champions with the most CC early game. Basically have 2 free sources of CC in your Riptide and your Q and auto. But it looks like even though First Blood did go over to Nor of the 4 in team, the Beluga Beans here, Team Edward will pick up the first Mountain Drake of the game. Next Drake will be a Cloud Drake this time around, as all the lanes are kind of just going back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, and surprising enough, actually, this Renekton is out farming the Kennen here. The pressure coming down. Ooh, Slim.
Looks like Epoch's gonna have to flash on out here. Gonna use the culling to back on out. Twister Bathtub will use his ult also, but he's gonna use a little bit of geometry here to try to poke him out with the Qs. But Gank's gonna come through. You get the flash and you just dip on out right there.
Yeah, good gank there by Slim, but unable to turn it into much. Comes the Hex Flash, but not gonna get over the wall. Anything substantial. So now Big Muscle still farming up, out farming this Lilia, which is generally the case early on. I'm concerned that this Kennen is already behind on this Renekton here. That is one that, even if you're not looking at like how well the players are doing in terms of fights, Kennen should be able to farm extremely easy in that lane. And the fact that Milk Bubble Tea is able to get such a CS lead already is kind of spelling a little bit of disaster.
It looks like Mundo is going to come topside here. No vision for Milk Bubble Tea. Milk Bubble Tea does have the flash. Slicing Maelstrom is going to come down. Going to flash on forward here. Milk Bubble Tea going to try to heal up with the powered Cold Meat. But the Mick Muscle will get the last muscle down onto Milk Bubble Tea here.
Yeah, and Big Chill needed to be able to make that flash ult work, because that was the only lockdown they really had. Worked out really well for them. Got the engage, got the kill off of that. Milk Bubble Tea did not have any way to turn it around with no ignite, only having the Iron Spike whip. And good gank there will help this Mundo get off the ground, which is one of Mundo's weak points.
Yep, Mundo will most likely start building towards that Turbo Chem Tank here, which is going to be super, super useful when you're trying to run at these 2 ADCs that can kite out so well. And it looks like Kennen will get a bit of a lead. Still 11 CS deficit, surprisingly, but it's just so hard to walk up to a Renekton that has Slice and Dice and the Ruthless Predator with the PTA. So it's just so hard to walk up, because you're basically just going to take half your health, and then you just kind of get zoned off the wave completely, because it's just so dangerous to walk up to a Renekton. But Lily is trying to look for gank here and there, but it's just going to farm up. Bot lane will kind of just mellow out here. Pre-Medic does have himself a sizable CS lead. It's about 15 CS, but the Vayne does have the first blood gold on her, so it's not too substantial.
Yeah, that's about what you'd expect there. The Jinx should be able to out-farm this Vayne as far as things go, but good hook.
There's the hook coming down. Magnet Storm is going to come down onto 2 also. Pre-Medic is going to have to back on out here. Ignite's going to go down onto Nor of the 4, but they're just going to have to back on. Ooh, Nor of the 4 going to have to ult out. Going to try to kite on out. Big Muscle is going to get left up. Depth Charge going to come down. Magnet Storm, Track Repel not going to land, but there's the rocket right onto Devin here. But a flash is going to come down from Devin. He's going to get chunked out. TB 56 is going to get chunked out a lot by the rocket, but Pre-Medic has no more mana. Heal's going to come down from north of the 4, and the roll will work out, and they will get a 1 for none in the bot lane here for Team Edward.
Yeah, good plays there. Premedic hitting the nice ultimate to confirm that kill. Ultimately, though, the quick thinking there, getting Big Muscle down there first, as well as Toaster Bathtub to also be able to help out. I think they were ready for the Mundo to follow up, but they were not ready for the Vilkaz ult coming over the wall, which ended up spelling doom for the Lilia there, Devin falling in that fight. And now that will help out the Vel'Koz a little bit. Is struggling in terms of farm here, but should be able to get at least a little bit of something now going with the Lost Chapter and that assist gold in the pocket.
Yeah, like the big struggle is Epoch, even though he pushed the wave in, the Vel'Koz really didn't lose too much. Yeah, he lost a little bit of gold because farming under the tower is not a mage's forte, but he still collected all that XP, which is super, super important to stay in the game. And Epoch only got a single plate for his troubles. So it looks like the Big Muscle will start up the Rift Herald here. Top lane, not a lot of vision really in the top side here. Bot side is just peppered with wards by the Beluga beams. Rocket's going to come down onto the Cloud Drake. They'll know it's happening, but they're just going to have to leave it there as Slim and Big Muscle are looking topside to dive Milk Bubble Tea here. As he does have the Dominus, he's just going to back and just everything will kind of go hunky-dory. A Drake for a Rift Herald.
Yeah, generally, as long as this Rift Herald gets used before the plates go down, that is going to be more favorable for the Rift Herald there. As Infernal Soul is what we're going to be seeing, yeah, and that is just going to be used right away. Can't blame him right now, just using that to get it off the board and get that extra gold, which Mundo will enjoy a good bit. You see the Turbo Chem Tank has been completed now, and right now I'm actually looking at Slim. Slim is just all over the map right now, sitting up on this top side, leaving Jinx alone. If QB56 actually recognizes that Jinx, yeah, this is smart. Premedic is just staying way far out of the way.
Yeah, this is a bit of a struggle. Premedic did have a reasonable lead, a kill and about 20 CS up, but now he's pretty much just going to lose that entire lead. About 2 plates are going to fall down in the bot side here. So they're going to try to make a play bot, but Beluga Beans are smart. They're just going to back on up. They have a lot of wards peppering this whole entire bot side. Like, top side pretty much is just completely silent outside of that Rift Herald and that one gank top. But bot side is pretty much the name of the game here for both these teams, as wards are everywhere for the Beluga Beans.
Yeah, the bot side is kind of the win condition for both these teams. There is a little bit more for Beluga to be able to actually make things happen in their team composition. The Lucian can get fed, the Renekton can get fed. Those are all opportunities for them. But the Jinx is the big thing for Team Edward here. They need to be able to have her do damage and get her off the ground, which they've done successfully so far. It's just getting into these fights now once the Kraken Slayer does start coming online.
It looks like mid lane here. Epoch is going to go in. Culling's going to come down, but Toaster Bathtub is going to use both summoners to just get on out here. Epoch does still have the flash, and his E just came up, so he's just going to back on out here, realizing a gank is going to come through. But, like, the gold lead is pretty much nothing, really. It's, like, only about 1.5k for the Beluga Beans. They're not really using any pressure that they have, or both sides aren't really exerting any pressure around the map. They're just kind of sitting in lanes every now and then. They're going to kind of gank around, you know, try to look for a little something, but both sides are playing very, very safe here. Not much is really going on, as a lot of the mythic items are coming out for the side of the Beluga Beans. Both Kraken Slayers on both ADCs here. Gore Drinker for Milk Bubble Tea in the top lane. Turbo Chem Tank for the Mundo, but that's pretty much it. Not many people have backjet for Team Edwards, so they aren't going to quite be able to look for those fights. Infernal Drake will be the Solioli this game, as it'll come up in about 150.
Big Chill not actually getting the stun until all the damage was done, so a little bit of a misplay there. And yeah, like you said, the dragon gonna be spawning soon. You need to see Team Edward actually back and spend some of this gold, because they cannot win a dragon fight unless they do so.
Looks like Big Muscle. You're going to come in there very, very fast with the Turbo Chem Tank. Flash is going to come down. Crash down, not going to land. But there is a TP behind for Milk Bubble Tea. but that's a lot of damage onto Nora before, so he's just going to get out. Rocket's not going to quite land, but Milk Bubble Tea's right in there, slicing Maelstrom onto 2, but that's a really big sleep onto 4, and there's going to be a ton of damage. Lucian coming in with a bucket and a mop. Cold-a-Meat going to take down 1. Lucian's going to pick up the triple kill here, and it is going to be a 5 for none and an ace at 15 minutes.
Yeah, that was so well played by Beluga there. They got the deep TP, basically forcing the fight to keep happening. Just the entire time, there was no opportunity to back out for Team Edward. And Jinx basically just got run down, got hit by the Renekton, and had no opportunity. The Kennen ult looked really good, except for the fact that Lucian was still on that top side, pumping out damage the entire time, and they just did not get damage on that initial burst that they used in for Team Edward in that fight.
Yeah, it's just like they used so much to try to get onto the Vayne. They pretty much sacrificed every single ability and summoner spell to get the Vayne, and in the end they couldn't get her, so they couldn't get those crucial resets that they needed, and they all just got slowly ran down. Devin really clutch with that 4-man sleep in the end. Epoch coming in on the side, just getting tons of damage out, and Milk Bubble Tea being super disruptive on that teleport flank there. So it looks like they're gonna try to walk mid here, crashing out. Ooh, Slim, you're kind of inty there a little bit, buddy. Looks like Hook's gonna go down. Slim's gonna get taken down by Epoch. Epoch going onto a rampage here. Drake did just spawn here, so it looks like Beluga Whale or Beluga Beans will get the priority onto the Drake first here. They're just kind of rabble-rousing around into the blue side jungle, and looks like they're just going to turn right onto this Drake, burn it down with the 2 Kraken Slayers and the Vayne with the Silver Bolts. Rocket's going to come down. Not much is going to happen with it, and Devin will secure the Drake.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't go for the dragon after that ace. I feel like that would have been the right time to do that. Gave a little bit of an opportunity for Team Edward to make something out of it, but they did confirm more kills. Unfortunately, Slim just falling pretty much for nothing, and now this is going to be the second tower of the game going down in this mid lane.
Yeah, man, it's just like, now, gold lead, it's pretty much just completely snowballed. 6k gold lead for the Beluga Beans here. They're up 2 towers, mid tower especially being broken down, which is super crucial in a game like this. Milk Bubble Tea is also about to break the top tower here, it looks like. Not gonna quite get to the demolish proc here, but Milk Bubble Tea is going to get collapsed upon here by the support and jungler for the side of Team Edward here. Ooh, Magnet Storm not gonna hit Milk Bubble Tea here, just gonna juke on out with the slice and dice and the flash, and he will get out alive in the 3v1.
Yeah, you bring a lot of people up there and give a lot of targets for that Gore Drinker, and Renekton will be able to just pop that, use the Dominus and the Cold-a-Meek, and be able to just stay alive now. And that was a lot burned to try and just get a kill they didn't get.
Ooh, not a lot of knockouts coming on the QD56 here, but not really going to commit anything else here. Super Mega Death Rocket going to come down. Shield's going to pretty much negate most of that damage here, but not really, just like a lot of things going on, but not much being capitalized on outside of like that one team fight. Both teams being a little bit cautious, and there's just like a lot of small little things just not happening correctly, so they can't really get these crucial kills here. Beluga Beans will pick up the second Rift Herald of the game here. Not going to quite be spotted out on any wards, but they're just kind of hovering around the bot side, going to try to farm up a little bit, seeing if they can get this Jinx ahead. But it's just like there's so many mistakes with these engages that nothing's really happening, just because there's not a lot of follow-up for the side of Team Edwards here. Now finally the Rift Herald will fall, and we're gonna have to see where they drop that, as the Drake will come up in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
And you can see all the vision around this mid lane here. Just so much put down in these river areas here, but that's a lot of vision that you don't have in the other areas of the map. It's kind of a lot of overlapping vision, and I've seen this one before.
Oh, bot side here, Milk Bubble Tea gonna use the Gore Drinker, gonna heal up a lot, but Jinx is just gonna kite on out, gonna get the rockets down. Sadly, the Mundo will pick up the shutdown here onto Milk Bubble Tea.
Yeah, well done there. Just a pretty standard one that we expected to see up at the top side there, but do pick it up this time. Have the extra damage from the Jinx, and there was nowhere near enough time to be able to get that. Not sure what that Jinx ult was for, but that was going somewhere.
Maybe it could have executed the turret, maybe, I don't know. But Jinx is gonna kind of split push a little bit. Gonna get a little bit of solo XP in the bot lane here, but top tower will not fall quite yet. It's only about 2 autos off. Drake spawning at about 120, so we're gonna have to try to see that objective control for both sides coming down, because right now there are 0 wards in the bot river for this Drake. Right now, Slim is looking mid. Gonna try to get Epoch with his pants down here, seeing if he does E forward. But he looks like he's not gonna get anything. Gonna flash out the crash down, and Slim is gonna get slowed up like crazy. Is the hook going to land? And it is not gonna be thrown.
Yeah, that was kind of what we talked about too. With all that vision in one area, it makes it real easy to clear out. There was, a lot of control wards that were doing a lot of the work there. And that's just super easy for them to clear out. Beluga's now basically got complete control of that dragon 30 seconds before, and we talked about in Champ Select how they needed to be the ones that were getting there first. They needed to be making sure that they were not trying to force the engage from a bad spot. Now, they're getting a little bit slow to this objective, but they have the bot lane able to push up and walk up safely there. So that should give them the opportunity to push this Vel'Koz and Rel back, because Slim is very low health right now.
Yep, the Fruity Fruit is right there, but he's going to get tagged with the Swirl Seed. Going to get a one-man sleep here. Teleport flanked by Milk Bubble Tea. Culling will take down Epoch here. Flash forward by the Nautilus. Going to get the depth charge down right onto the Big Muscle. Oh, wow, that hook should not have landed quite yet. But Big Muscle will get taken down. That's going to be a 2 for none for the side of the Beluga Beans here. And Drake should be secured here for them.
Yeah, pretty solid engaged. The single target sleep, generally not a good one, but you've got Slim with the culling there on the end and the TP to make sure once again that there was no disengage opportunity for Team Edward. Every time they've gotten into these fights where it seems like they want to actually push forward into Beluga Beans, the TP has basically been like, oh, we cannot kite out of this anymore. And Milk Bubble Tea is constantly on this Jinx in the 5v5 fights.
Yeah, Big Chill, like, for Team Edwards, you cannot have a Kennen just, like, Fate completely just go straight into a Vayne Lucian, because you're just going to either get kited out or get blown up completely, or both. But if Team Edwards can look for these flank wards for Big Chill, and he can get these really big slicing maelstroms onto these 3 squishy champions in the Lucian, Vayne, and the Lilia, then you're pretty much set for life, because there's a lot of damage. They're just not taking really good advantage of it, or they're not looking for the correct routes, because Slim can't really just jump right in, because he's just going to he's going to get knocked back, kited out, and just die right then and there.
I mean, there's also the option, too, for Kennen to actually just use the Slicing Maelstrom defensively, keep the Jinx alive, because it is so big AoE. Like, they're getting into fights whether they like it or not, and the back-off potential from the Slicing Maelstrom might actually allow them to kite out where they normally wouldn't be able to do so. So that is also an opportunity that I think they need to really consider at this point.
Yeah, right now, it's just, they're just kind of getting run down upon with these flank wards. Ooh, that's a 2-man Swirl Seat there. Not going to quite send it quite
I don't know
yet.
where the rest of the team is. They know that Jinx is bot lane, but Rel was moving up. They did not have clear vision on to the rest of the team and did not want to pull the trigger.
Yeah, man, it's really, really hard, because the ease of execution is not on the side of Team Edwards. As for the Beluga Beans, they have 2 really hard snowballing ADCs, and they're pretty much having a field day with this team. Epoch X on the Lucian mid, he's averaging pretty high CS numbers. He's getting a little slightly over 10 CS a minute, like 10.5, and he's 5-0 and 2. So they need to look for this Lucian and try to blow him up with the crash down, or possibly the life form disintegration ray, but it's just really, really hard to lock down because there's not a lot of CC for the side of Team Edwards. They can't look for any picks at all
Yeah,
unless Slim gets a
there's
really good crash down Magnet Storm.
Yeah, and that's not really going to be easy to do because the Relentless Pursuit is going to be always ready to get this Lucian out of dodge very quickly. So that is a hard call to make when it comes to Lucian. A lot of times, if you're not sure you're going to be able to beat him in lane, if you're going to know that he has the possibility of getting big, you need to have something that can lock him down like very consistently. You need some kind of point and click CC. Something like a Lulu polymorph is good. Something that is just really, really easy to land, because otherwise he can just save his dash and dodge out of it every time.
Yeah, just like look at QB56. He's just walking around casually, you know, not worrying about a thing. Just because like the fear that is in Team Edwards right now, it's so hard for them to kind of look for picks because the vision control is not really there for both sides, you know. Like they want to kind of pull the trigger, but both sides are kind of dark when it comes to a little deep vision. A lot of the actual vision is really superficial for both sides, but overall, the Beluga Beans have really good objective control. They're constantly getting there a little earlier, and then Team Edward is just kind of giving up the priority on any kind of position that they get with the lead that the Beluga Beans have right now. Drake's going to spawn up in about a minute here. Swirlcy's not going to quite hit anybody, but Geometry is going to be laid down to see if they can get a couple picks here in this 5v5 team fight.
Yeah, right now it is Team Edward getting the jump on this dragon, but it is such a hard fight for them to take. The TP just became available for Milk Bubble Tea, but is walking up on this backside. So they're basically, the goal right now is for them to get chased into this Renekton and get pinched by it.
Ooh, it looks like Pre-Medic is kind of getting soloed off here. They know Milk Bubble Tea is in the back. If they want to look for anything here, they have to kind of look for it now. Because Milk Bubble Tea, if they can turn right onto him, they can pretty much just burst him down. But he has Stopwatch and Stair's Gauge. It's going to be really hard. They're all sitting on a... Team Edwards is sitting on a ward, so they're not going to quite look for anything here. Ooh, that's a little bit of a oopsie daisy there. A couple of nervous fingers there. But Slim does get tagged with the bowling ball. Mid lane is going to get pushed down here because the mid lane prio. Hook's going to land onto the Rel now. Rel's going to flash on now. Death Charge onto 2 in the back line. But there's the Slicing Maelstrom onto Epoch. Epoch is going to have to get flash on out there. Renekton is just right in the back line, going to burst them down. But everybody in the front line get taken down by the Vayne. You think you have one hyperscaling? No, you got 2. And as Toaster Bathtub will get a return kill onto Renekton, and QB56 will fall, but that will be a 2 for 3 and the soul for the side of Beluga Beans.
All things considered, that is a lot more than Team Edwards should have been able to get in that fight there. They really didn't have much they could do in terms of trying to fight it, and the Jinx being able to stay alive, yes, they got the flash out of her and the heal, but the Renekton was not able to get onto her, blow her up, and then the Bel'Kaz and Jinx are doing enough damage to burn through him. It is more just a matter of they need to make sure they are not getting hooked at the start of it. Kennen, he chased off one person with the Slicing Maelstrom, and that is not how you need to be using that ability. You need to create a zone that you cannot walk through, not just chase down a single person.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of the team was split apart because you saw how long the Renekton kept the 2 damage dealers busy for the side of Team Edwards. Imagine what happens when a Vayne and a Lucian are both coming in from the back. Lucian's level 17. He is 3 levels ahead of the Vel'Koz in the solo lane, and he's 2 levels ahead. No, he's 3 levels ahead of anybody that is on his own team on the second highest. So right now, Lucian is just having a field day, he's averaging more than 10 CS a minute, 505, 700 gold bounty. If they get this bounty, it's going to be really, really big.
Yeah, this really is the Lucian show right now. Epoch has been able to really get a lot of things going for this team. Has a lot of damage. You can see has the Essence Reaver, Infinity Edge, and Kraken Slayer. That is a extremely bursty Lucian that really nobody can handle in these side lanes, and that teleport's going to be really, really important for being able to let Lucian split push.
Yeah, looks like pings are going to come down onto the Baron for the side of the Beluga Beans. Beluga Beans are going to burst this pretty hard. Lucian's in the bot side. Nobody's going to match him up. They're going to try to collapse on him, but he is pretty high level. Culling's going to come down, but Stun's also going to come down. Baron's going to get taken down right away here. Kraken Slayer and Silver Bolt's going to do a lot of work, and they're not going to get the Lucian. They're just going to get the Baron completely for free, and Milk Bubble Tea is just going to sit mid, not going to have anything collapse on him.
Yeah, with all of the pressure in the mid and bot lanes, they did not think the 3-man Baron was coming through. Unfortunately, Vayne, very good at taking those objectives with the Silver Bolts, as well as Lilia with the burn. And Epoch already healing himself back up a bunch here. They're sending 3 people here, but there's, once again, no solid, consistent engage to stop Epoch from getting away.
Yeah, like, the Epoch is just... like, nobody can match him at this point. Like, you can send 2, 3, 4 people on him, but he's going to take down at least 2 people with him when you're taking that shutdown goal, and he's just going to make up the cash that he just missed out on. And right now, he's level 18. He's almost full build outside of about an item and a half here. So Big Chill is on about 2 items. Everybody on Team Edwards is on about 2 items at this point outside of the support. And on the side of Beluga Beans, they're up about 3 items here on both their carries. Slim's gonna get tagged up. There's gonna be a really good stun there, but that's a 2-man sleep. Not much is gonna happen. Nobody's close enough, and that will be a crucial cooldown if they're gonna try to look for these fights here.
Yeah, but they do have other options. They've got the depth charge available. Just this Lucian being able to run around. Look how much damage he does to this Mundo.
That's the tanky one too. But Magnet Storm's gonna come down. Man, that's a lot of damage. That was also the secondary tank. But Super Mega Death Rock is gonna get a pickup here. Toaster Bathtub is gonna have to kite on out here. But the triple kill will go over to north of the 4.
And
that will be a 2 for 4 in the top lane though. Big Chill will pick up the solo kill. Milk Bubble Tea getting a little bit too cocky there. But the game is just going to end right here. GGs are going to come right on out as Beluga Beans will take game 1 in this best of 3.
Yeah, big congrats there for Beluga Beans there. They played that game extremely well, and they absolutely were in control the entire time. I don't think there was really ever a doubt for Beluga Beans because they just did not let any of Team Edward to actually do anything most of that game. They just kind of fell behind really hard on a team comp that, yes, they scale, but they still needed to be able to do something. They needed some kind of answer for this early game power that the Lucian and the Renekton had, and they kind of just let the power just overwhelm them.
Yeah, like, they couldn't really convert anything on these early game champions that go really aggressive. Lucian picked up a triple kill, so that pretty much gave him free reign in his lane. Ironically, Lucian did not do the most damage, surprisingly. The Kennen and the Vel'Koz both tied for the most amount of damage with 16k, but they're both poke champions, so it's kind of innate in their kit. But just the Lucian just popped off so hard. 15,000 gold at the end of it all. 13k gold lead overall for the team. And it was just like, at that point, it was just insurmountable. Like, they couldn't look for picks. Team, the Beluga Beans just played so safe. They didn't leave any openings or any mistakes for the Team Edwards to kind of capitalize upon. But overall, like, that was just a really clean, methodical game for them, for the Beluga Beans here. And Epoch definitely is player of the game for this game 1 here for the Beluga Beans.
Yeah, I think it's definitely Epoch is the controller of the game there. Just absolutely was running the tempo there, and at a certain point it was just stat diff in terms of the items that were on the carries there and the tanks. there was nothing that was really going to be able to be done. It was just a slow choke out after a certain point.
Yep. As we wait for game 2 lobby to be set up, we will be taking a quick little break. So just grab a drink, grab a snack, and we'll be right back with y'all in week 3 of Risen Open Unstoppable. Welcome back, gamers, as we get ready for game two between Team Edward on the blue side this time around and the Beluga Beans on the red side. First game was definitely a banger, wasn't it, Mr. Thousand Eyes?
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, it was a bit of a stomp, but it was absolutely just Beluga Beads controlling that game from start to finish. This Lucian mid was not something that Team Edward had any answer for. The Vel'Koz did not do well into it, and on top of that, they let the Lucian roam around, pick up an early triple kill, and then farm all around the map. So we'll see if Team Edward want to ban that away, or if they want to go for something that is a little bit more safe and can handle the aggression that a mid lane Lucian can bring.
So it looks like Team Edward will put the respect ban out for the Vayne, definitely tank shred, and they're also going to ban out the Lucian because last game for Team Edward they pretty much banned all top laners. Really could have been a flex, but I'm just going to assume all top laners for the respect of Milk Bubble Tea here. Darius, Lilia, and Anivia will also be banned out here. It seems Lilia will not be on the table for Beluga Beans to pick up, most likely in the second phase. So we're going to have to see what Team Edward pick up, what is worthy of a first priority pick here for them.
Yeah, Lilia being taken off the board here for I get that is one that they first picked while on blue side. They don't want to allow the opportunity for Team Edward to get that. So it's very, very obvious that that is a major pick that Beluga Beans are prioritizing. The Tristana is going to be taken here early on. This is a flex pick, can go into the mid, can go into the bottom lane. That is not actually what's going to get taken. I'm a complete fool and got baited by a hover. Now it's locked in, so everything I said actually matters.
Okay, so I don't absolutely look ridiculous. I keep my job. So it looks like Tristana and Nautilus will be picked up. Very, very hyper aggressive bot lane for North of the Fort and QB56. QB56 definitely got those beads very, very well with the hook. Mundo is going to be picked up for the big muscle here. Vayne is taken off the table, so they don't have to worry about that really, really strong tank shred. So we're going to see what Team Edward pick here for the bot lane to kind of reciprocate against this high aggression bot lane. But it looks like I'm just gonna eat my words, right? They're gonna pick Diana instead for blind mid, but you know,
okay,
whatever.
I don't mind this. Diana is a very, very strong mid laner right now. I think people are sleeping on her a little bit. We've seen her a lot more in high elo queues. As the patches have gone by, her burst potential is super strong, and she can bring the opportunity for these split pushes late with the extra attack speed that she brings alongside her the rest of her kit. So I like this. I think combined with a Leona, that is great setup for Diana to then just follow up, go in and pop people, and then the rest of the team could just clean up afterwards.
Looks like Beluga Beans is gonna pick up Jace for Q Daddy. No, wait. Milk Bubble Tea. My bad. Bad eyesight. And Leona will be picked up here for Slim in the bot lane.
Yeah, the Jace was a ban away in the last game, so was not able to get that, and will allow for a little bit more pressure in this top side, even more than we saw on the Renekton before. So we'll see what Team Edward want to do as far as picking something. Once again, they need something that can handle aggression because they just were not able to do so in game one, and they let the snowball get out of control.
Yeah, looks like Team Edward's gonna pinch this jungle pool. Gonna kind of get rid of these hard farming, good ganking junglers here for Devin, so he can't really do too much around the map here. Getting curious what Team Edwards is gonna pick for the ADC pick here, because against a Trist, you kind of want like something that either has more range or something that can out damage her, because early game is very, very hard to match the burst damage, but you can still pick something like a Kaisa to match that early game burst potential, especially with the Leona passive stacked on and the high base damage that she provides. Kane's going to be hovered here. It is a bit Devin does play it. It doesn't
Yes.
do too bad when it comes to clearing. So we're gonna see what they do with it. Gonna take their sweet little time here. And Kane will be grabbed here for Devin in the jungle.
Yeah, this is one of Devon's top picks here, so I'm not surprised to see that. It will be a lot more passive than we saw that from the Lilia. The Kane definitely not known for early game aggression. What the Kane does is walks into lane, gets damage, maybe gets a summoner, and then backs off. The goal is not to try and get the kill on it. While that's great for Kane, the goal is to just do the damage, get the orbs, and get your transform online as soon as possible here. Team Edward once again going for the Jinx here with the aggressive bot lane pick. I think the Leona is going to do better, and there is the Malphite here. I think this is a very similar team composition with just the mid lane really changing roles here, and I think this gives a lot more opportunity because there's a little bit less mechanical error available for Team Edward.
Yeah, Team Edward have the ease of execution on their side right now. You pretty much have you have Malphite engaged, you have Diana engaged, you have Leona engaged, and then you have a Jinx that can just kite out. You got 4 hard-hitting frontliners for Team Edward, so Jinx can just kind of scale up and do really, really hard. There is dive for the Beluga teams, but like it's not like a hard dive, you know. Like you still have to get through the front line, but Beluga Beans, Silas is a very, very good pick here, as it is a bit of a counter into Malphite. That you can steal his ult, and then that you also do AP. So if you steal a Malphite ult, it has 100% AP scaling. So you know you build Silas, and then just ult the Jinx. Bada bing, bada boom. Kane will have a fun time getting his Rost form very, very early, being all the lanes are melee, and looks like we have been bamboozled. Milk Bubble Tea is going to take the Silas top, and it will be a Jace mid here for Epoch X.
Yeah, and that is about expected. Epoch does have that in the champion pool, and the Silas, like you said, does do really, really well into the Malphite because he just does not want to build MR early, and the Malphite ult with a full AP Silas is very, very devastating here. So that will be the matchup, and I'm looking at Beluga Beans right now and their team composition. This is once again a team comp that does not have a lot of solid front line. We've seen Beluga Beans do well with it before. It's just a question of, are they going to be able to make the same thing happen as they did in game one? Once you get into this late game style here, you're going to be seeing a lot less ability to 5v5. The Malphite and the Leona and the Mundo are all going to be so hard to deal with when you compare it to like the Jace and Silas. They're going to basically get blown up off of the engage.
You can see like what Team Edward or what the Beluga Bean did is they kind of took advantage of the mistakes and the early game pressure that they had, because Team Edward, they have a really scaling composition. They have a really hard scaling composition. You have 3 hard tanks, and you have a Diana and a Jinx. That's a lot of scaling. Early game is a bit lacking. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's pretty much not there until you're about level 6 for all of your champions. For Beluga Beans, they have a pretty good mix. They have a lot of scaling, they have a lot of early game. They can look for a lot of these early game picks in the bot side, and then try to transition that to the top side, get those objectives, get those neutral objectives also, and try to kind of spread the wealth around the rest of the map here. But everything just comes straight down to the bare basics of execution. Who will get there first? Who will get picked off first? And we're just gonna have to see who wins this game 2, and if we're gonna get taken to a game 3.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing, like you said, is going to be, can Team Edward scale into that late game? The Malphite, there are very few lanes that Malphite absolutely gets smashed in. This is not one of them. Malphite can survive this. He just takes Comet, takes the Mana Flow Band, and then goes, just pokes while it's up and stays alive. That's all you got to do is Malphite in this lane. As far as the bot lane, I'm hoping to see a little bit more coordinated engages here on the Leona and the Jinx, because game one just was a lot of over engages from Slim that really cost the team going into objectives here. The mid lane, I think, is definitely the lane to watch this time around because it's such a different matchup than we saw before. Diana into Jace, that's a lot more available for the Diana to do in that lane. So I'm hoping to see a little bit more from Team Edward there.
Yep, there's lots of volatile lanes here. Slim is on a champion that is a lot easier to execute on. Zenith Blade does not have much of a delay here, so he will have a lot of a better time hitting a lot of these stuns and getting that extra damage down. But as we wait for the spectator delay to go down and we load onto Summoner's Rift, we're going to be taking a quick little break again. So while I grab a little bit of a snack, y'all can wait and we'll get right back with y'all. to game 2 between Team Edward on the blue side and the Beluga Beans on the red side here. As pings will come out again, but this time for the Beluga Bean. Now they have the Nautilus, or no, wait, they still have the Nautilus, so they're gonna look for a little bit more cheesy antics here as they go through the bot side, try to invade a little bit. Ooh, Slim's gonna get caught out here. Flash 4, lots of stuns coming down, and that'll be first blood for the Tristana. And that is a big oofaroni for Slim.
Yeah, did start jump though, so will be a little bit neutered as far as that level 1, but I mean, you take that for an extra 400 gold, gonna be getting the long sword early on, and will be even more of a problem as far as this all-in is going. So that will be very, very good for them.
Yeah, man, just so much CC layering. Silas will not be stunted by starting E first. When you're in a melee lane like this, you generally want to start E just because the Petrocite burst comes out really, really fast and it gives you that extra damage and those extra stacks of Conquer. So you just a lot of burst. The Jace did start Q, so his lane will not be stopped here, but looks like there's going to be a little bit of a cheeky lane swap here. Diana top against the Silas and the Malphite mid. Interesting.
Yeah, I like this lane swap here. The Malphite does fairly well into the Jace, at least better than the Silas. And Diana does fine into Silas as well. You can see Malphite able to trade decently here. Malphite does have the refillable potion here, the corrupting pot. So that will actually be a favorable trade ultimately for the Malphite.
Ooh, looks like Epoch will get level 2 first here. So he's going to get priority onto this lane. As Q Daddy will not quite hit level 2. He's about a minion off here. So it looks like outside that first blood, top side here is going to be a little bit of fighting. Just going to pop the electric dip on out. But ooh, Diana is going to have pretty much a field day here, getting really good with those QE resets there. Kane is looking to probably gank top early, not really possibly going to get a kill, but he will get a lot of stacks when he goes in on this Diana as the lane is starting to push forward here.
Yeah, there is the engage.
Ooh, looks like Milk Bubble Tea is going to get chunked out a lot. Doesn't have the W quite yet here. Ignite's going to come down, just going to flash on out. I'm going to see if they can try to get a return kill, but Toaster Bathtub is just kind of going to hold on onto his flash here. Not going to waste anything else. But it'll just be a flash done by Milk Bubble Tea and a kill over for the Kane.
Yeah, so will just be the early kill for the Kane, which is very, very great. We'll give him a lot of stacks. We'll give him early gold and just take care of some of that early game weakness that Kane seems to run into. So very, very good for Devin, and we'll fast track that transformation.
Yep, sadly you can't see the stack tracker through the spectator client, but overall, like, the game's been pretty quiet overall. Like, there's been 2 kills in about 4 minutes, but looks like things are coming down to collapse onto this Mundo here. Mundo's gonna get caught a little bit here, gonna get rooted up. Bomb's gonna come down, but Epoch will take the kill there and a blue buff for his troubles.
Yeah, that's just bad pathing at that point there. You have no mid laner. Malphite was back in base. The bot lane is pushed into your own team's side. There's no real reason for the Mundo to be up that far and try and fight for a Scuttle Crab. He has no help.
Oh, looks like Kane's gonna gank top again here. Gonna go through the wall. Gonna get a lot of damage. Sun's also gonna come down with Diana. Diana's gonna have to flash on out. Blaze Reach gonna go down. And it looks like Toad Bathtub is getting out with his life, but he will trade his 5 bot lane. There's a lot of extra fighting here. Hook gonna go down onto Slim, but the Eclipse is gonna do a lot of work. Not gonna get chunked out too hard here. Big Muscle is coming around for a gank or Rooney here. Nautilus gonna be in that bush still. Ping's coming down. They're gonna try to back on out here, but Slim does not have the flash. Ooh, Nor.
Yeah, we're gonna flash out there.
Or the 4 is not gonna fight Lamp or the 4. Ooh, that's a really good hook there onto pre-medic right into the middle of the wave. But QB56 is just kind of hovering around. Doesn't have a lot of mana. Hook will come back up. He'll have enough mana for one more hook here. But it looks like it's going to be a failed gank. And they're just going to get out alive.
Yeah, ultimately, a little bit of time wasted there. I'm still kind of surprised that Nora the 4 and QB were able to get out of that so cleanly. Will just be the backs there. Jinx did not have a lot of rockets to be able to follow up there and help out the team. Q Daddy getting a little low here.
Ooh.
Epoch is very, very much looking for that dive. Q Daddy should be close to level 6 soon, and Big Muscle with the flash should be able to follow up if Epoch really tries to go deep on this.
Yeah, Q-Daddy is a minion off right now. So if Epoch does look for the all-in or he kind of overextends under the tower, then he's just going to get kind of blown up. But it looks like not much is going to happen there.
I just looked at the scoreboard and what the CS difference is here. The mid lane matchup is so far off here. I think on stream it's still Malphite top.
Oh, holy bananas here, but looks like Flash is going to come down for QB56. He's going to get the hook. Full charge bomb is going to go down to pre-medic, but he's just going to walk on out, not going to use any other summoners. And I don't understand how the Jinx did not die there. Huh.
But yeah, if you look at this Malphite here, it is 40 CS down, 60 to 22. Not a fun time.
It is highly unsurprising. Trist also has a pretty sizable CS lead here. Toaster bats up, almost got a return kill onto Milk Bubble Tea. Milk Bubble Tea is so under leveled right now that it looks like he is going to hit level 6 right here on this last minion here. Interestingly enough, he's going for the Q max instead of the W max. Yeah, W max is generally more suitable. Something like that.
Well, we'll talk about that in a sec. I think that just ended. So generally, the Q max is better in matchups where you are going to be fighting at range, which like the Diana, like she can poke you out a lot. So if you need to fight somebody who has decent range, the Q max is generally better. When you're looking at top lane fighting the bruisers, the ones who want to get in your face and stay in melee range of you, then the W max generally works out better.
Yeah, it looks like both junglers are pretty much even. Top lane even, mid lane absolutely not even. It's about a 45 CS deficit here. No, 35? Yeah, 35. No, 45. I was right. Yeah, 45 CS deficit. But bot side here, there's going to be a 4-man gank bot side. Q-Daddy's going to teleport on down there, and they will get the kill onto QB56, and the first Drake might fall at 8 minutes 30 seconds.
That still, though, took 4 people just to get 1 kill and turn that into a dragon. Meanwhile, they're losing the blue buff on the top side. The mid lane is getting pushed in here, and I don't think they'll be able to do much about this Jace getting another plate. Like, yeah, they're being able to get something, but the amount of things they have to invest just to match what has been done already by Beluga Beans, that is very, very concerning.
Yeah, it's just like on like a micro level, like they can't really convert too much on their own. Like they require like a whole entire team, but Beluga Beans still hold a pretty sizable lead. They're up about 2,500 gold here. Looks like they're going to try to dive mid, but the wave just isn't there to look for it.
Yeah, also saw Mundo there, so did not want to go for that dive.
Yeah, man, it's just like a lot of things going around, you know, trying to force something. The Team Edward's just trying to force things around the map, but they kind of have to wait for this Kane to scale up, get his Rost form, and then they can really, really look for things around the map with that extra hunk of CC here.
Yeah, as of right now, the Kane transform should be coming fairly soon. Devin looking to try and gank this bot side here. He knows that it's control worded here. Will be looking to go in now.
Ooh. Oh, Slim's in a really, really sticky situation here. Gonna get jumped on, gonna flash over. You're gonna flash right into a cane here. Xenoplade's gonna go over. Death Charge going onto the Jinx. Slim is gonna somehow miss the final. Just walk on out here. They're gonna get a return kill right onto the Nautilus. Somehow, some way, somehow. They're gonna get a return kill right onto the Nautilus first. But Devin's gonna have to flash on out. Whoa, that's a really nice control for Xenoplade's gonna come straight on down. But Epot's gonna be right there to pick it up. You're gonna try to get pre-medic, but whoo, that was a really good flash by Epot from the Unstoppable Force. And then he's gonna walk on out. Devin's gonna still look for this dive here. Pre-medic is half health. Still has flash. Really big weight. Devin's gonna get chunked out really hard here. He's gonna flash out of the shock flash here. But that's a good combo from the Trick. Gonna get the return kill. She still has the jump reset. Q Daddy's gonna get really, really low. But are they gonna get something else here? But Nor of the Force gonna go straight in, but he will die here. And he's just gonna BM one last time. Not gonna go out in silence. And that will be a lot of kills for a lot of kills.
That's about what happened there. There's a lot of fighting there, a lot of teams going. I'm just mostly surprised at how long Slim survived in that fight. The aftershock and W buying so much time, allowing for the Jinx to do a lot of damage. It was a very early Jinx rocket coming through, so that one was a little bit suspect. But the rest of that fight, honestly, Pre-Medic played really well. Staying alive as long as possible, getting the flash and able to stay alive to kill the cane, and then the bomb from Nor of the Four finally getting that kill. Epoch also just raining hell down from above, and flashing that Malphite ultimate was so good. The reaction times you have to have in order to dodge a Malphite ultimate are very fast.
Ooh, top lane here is going to be a little bit more general fighting. Ignite's going to come down. Moonfall will also come down, and he will be taken down also. Mid lane is a little bit more fighting here, but like as we were saying before on that fight, it's just surprising. QB56 was the first one to go down, even though they initiated the fight. You thought Slim was going to get caught out here, but that's just an example of why Leona is just so strong. The Eclipse provides so much damage resistance that you're not really going to burst her here. Devin's going to go straight in here. Again, they have another tank busting champion against two others. Devin is looking to get caught out a little bit, but Q Daddy's just going to take the blast cone, going to go a little bit in the wrong direction there. But bot side, there's going to be a little more skirmishing. Slim is going to get chunked out really hard with the bomb here, but there comes a Solar Flare, and then Xenoblade coming straight onto Nor of the Four. Nor of the Four is going to get taken down. That'll be a shutdown right to Pre-Medic. The resets are coming down, and he'll get a double kill in the bot lane in the 2v2 for Team Edward.
Yeah, good engage there from Slim, getting the Solar Flare down, and then following up. Pre-Medic just being able to get in range. Nautilus not able to follow up onto the Jinx and stop her from auto-attacking because of how close to the tower she was. So getting just a little bit too far forward, Nor of the Four baits out his support.
Yeah, man, they had an item lead for Nor of the Four, and now pretty much that lead just got thrown away. Now the gold will pretty much even out for both ADCs here. Mid lane, Epoch is just gonna 2v1 Q Daddy and the big muscle here.
Look at the farm.
And just,
look at the farm diff.
Bro, he's getting Flame Horizon at, he's almost gonna get Flame Horizon at 14 minutes. Like,
yeah,
that's
14 and a half minutes he is going to be Flame Horizon. That's how ridiculous this is right now.
Like, he's averaging about 9-ish CS a minute here. The enhanced shot fast not going to quite land. Big Muscle will get ignited here, and Epoch will pick up another kill. Going to go 3-0-2. Pre-Medic is looking to get caught out here. QB56 looking for a flash, but doesn't have his tech flash. Oh, Pre-Medic, you're walking the wrong direction here, man. And he's just going to get bursted down, getting another kill over to Epoch. And that is just really unfortunate. Devin's going to pick up the Herald also. And this Drake is just going to go away for free.
I mean, that one was just people getting caught out a lot there. Is Devin going to take this fight? Just going to use the ult there. Oh my god, we are at the Flame Horizon. 14:53.
Exactly. Flame Horizon 1453. Mark it down in the chat, boys. As look like right now, Epoch is pretty much completely dominating this lane. Like, The Malphite can't really do anything, even though he's 3-1
Jimmy, what are you
mystifyingly.
doing?
Oh shoot, GB, you're getting caught out, buddy. Oh wait, he's gonna walk on out, but no, wait, nope. There's just gonna be a fadeaway cleaver to finish up the kill there.
Why are you there? like what are you accomplishing there? I guess trying to get a ward down, but like, why are you walking that way? And then, that one is mind-boggling to me.
Okay, QB, you know, brain kind of, you gotta turn off a little bit, you know. You gotta
Turn it off,
reserve
turn it
that
back
for the
on
rest
again.
of the fights, you know. Just gotta restart it, you know. Windows XP gets a little bit slow, but just right now, gold lead across the board. 4K gold lead for the side of Beluga Beans. The Jace has a 3.7K gold lead on the Malphite.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That
it's all
he has a
mid lane.
full he has pretty much an item and a half advantage. An item in a quarter. An item in a quarter. No, an item in 3/4 over the Malphite right now.
And the Malphite
Jinx
is not going to be
is
finishing an item anytime soon because he opted into that Bramble Vest early on. So has the Bombies and the Bramble Vest, we're still going to be waiting a long time for that first Mythic.
Yeah, he has a barn sale. He has a bit of a thrift shop in his inventory right now. Like, the Malphite is just not really doing too much here. Slim's gonna get caught out again. Blade Reach is gonna come down. That was really good luck there. The Blast Cone did put them in both in different directions here. But Nor of the Force gonna have the flash on out. Zenithblade is gonna go down onto QB56. But Nor of the Force, oh, that was a really good ultimate. Gonna get two of the people that was right on top of him. Gonna try to jump on out. Zenithblade not gonna quite land. Token Bathtub's gonna see if they can get what they can get, but there's a rocket coming down. There's a lot of resets going down. That's a 2-0 for Team Edward. They use a lot of stuff, but Jason's also gonna go down. That's a really big shutdown. Devin's gonna try to get out as much as he can, but Gore Drinker will not heal you enough, sir. And that will be a 4 for none for the side of Team Edward.
Yeah, and Epoch put so much damage down, but it went all into that Mundo. It did not go into any of the squishy carries. So Toaster Bathtub able to then follow up with the ultimate, chunk down this Jace a lot, and then Jinx, after getting the kill onto, I believe it was the Nautilus, if I remember correctly, but got the kill, got excited, was able to run down this Jace, and then get the 1,000 gold shutdown. This is a huge, huge turnaround. We saw the 4K gold disadvantage has now been turned into just 2.5.
Bro, Caster Curse. How we praise the man. We give him all of our respect, and then they get 4 for nothing. That's just Caster Curse in a nutshell, man. It's just they won that fight being down a couple thousand gold. Like, the Jace had such a big gold lead, and then right when I say that, Epoch brings that gold lead right back up again.
Why does Q-Daddy have shutdown gold?
Because he was 4-1. It definitely wasn't from CS.
130 CS.
Hey,
Why do you
man.
have a shutdown with that?
Kills. He was unstoppable. So I don't know what to tell you.
45 CS at 18.5 minutes and you have a shutdown on you?
So see, I'm gonna pull up my phone. I'm gonna do a little bit of math here. So right now we're about to hit 19 minutes.
I am just flabbergasted.
That's bad math. So there, 19 times 60. Divide that by 45. He's averaging. That's bad math also. I don't know how to do the calculations here.
Regardless, Q-Daddy's going in.
He is not getting a lot of CS per minute. Let's just say that much right now. Epoch is putting up a really big gold lead here. Already has his mirror on mana. Big Muscle is just going to walk on through. Not really going to do too much. Jinx is top lane for some reason while the Drake is about to spawn. So both sides, or Team Edwards, is going to be really, really late to this Drake party here.
Yeah.
About 4K gold lead for Beluga.
It is 2.4 CS per minute is the number you're looking for.
2.4 CS per minute. See,
that's not a good number.
See, as a tank, yeah, your CS is pretty darn bad, but for it to be that bad, It takes a
It's not
really,
good.
really special kind of lane opponent for that to happen. Really special. Not a full item yet. He has about 1,300 gold on him right now. Not enough to build any item. He needs about 100 something more. Milk Bubble Tea does have the Malphite ultimate, and he has a Leandres here. Surprisingly, he didn't go for the Everfrost because Everfrost did get buffed a lot and is more suitable for kind of like a fighter champion such as the Stylus here. He looks like he's going to go in, going to flash on forward, going to use the Abscond of Duck, going to stun him up, and going to take him down here.
Yeah. Okay, so I think Leandres is fine. That is just kind of the normal one for the Silas as of late, and it also helps you burn through these tanks. Obviously, Q Daddy's not going to be the beefiest person, but you've got the Leona, you've got the Mundo. They're going to be stacking a lot of health, so having the tank busted ability here will be very good.
Ooh, Milk Bubble Tea's going to get caught out here. Moonfall is going to come down, and he will be taken out. As Pre-Medic will pick up the kill here. And the red buff, the Baron is looking to get started here for the side of the Beluga Whales. Nobody is there. Pings are coming out. They do know what's happening, but will they get there in time to kind of do anything here? Jinx does have the Super Mega Death Rocket, so if they do get a vision right onto the Baron Pit, they can try to look for a Miracle Steal here, but that is not going to happen as lots of damage is coming down. They're both inside the pit. It's a 50-50, and Devin will pick up the Baron here, but there's a lot of damage. 2-man knockup for the side of the Malphite. Slim will take down Devin here. Slows come down for Epoch. Not going to quite get the reset. Holy bananas, that's a lot of damage. And half the health of Pre-Medic just went right there. Boom, poof, it was gone. But that will be a 2-for-1 and a Baron for the side of the Beluga Beans.
Yeah, this technically is a win for Beluga Beans, but they got so much that they lost there as well. Just the Jinx getting more kills, more online there, and the tempo is just constantly going more and more in favor of Team Edward here. So I'm getting a little worried if I am cheering for Beluga Beans, because they are really starting to falter in this late game.
Yeah, man, just Beluga Beans, QB56, not quite having the impact as he did first game. There's not really a lot to pick off when pretty much your only targets are 3 tanks, and then you have a Diana. If she goes in, she blows up your entire team. So you're not really having a lot of options of who you can be. You're not having a lot of options to pick out. You can't really be picky with who you get, but when it's 3 tanks and a hard-hitting assassin, you can't really do too much. See, Big Muscle, that's a tank. That's a tank. Took him down to about a 2/3 HP with a Q and auto. Empowered Q and an auto, so it's not a fun time there. Epoch is on 3 items at this moment.
Yeah, the window can heal up a lot though, so that's not the worst thing in the world. The big thing really is, can they buy space for this Jinx? And as long as they buy a little bit of space and they get the Jace down to about half health, which is easily doable with the champions they have, the Jinx can clean up the rest of the fight.
Ooh, looks like Epoch is going to take down the top tier 2. But again, like, a lot of the game is really, really dependent on the positioning for the side of Team Edwards. But it's at this point, the lead is just so massive for individual players that it's just really, really hard to kind of stop anything from happening here. The Flame Horizon is still very, very much active on the Malphite here.
Oh, that's not going to change. That's never going to change.
It is a 6k gold lead now. No, 6.3k gold lead for the Jace.
Yeah, but
that's 2
the big
whole
thing,
items.
The big thing though is that look at the things that Jace is going into. It is a lot of lethality and flat AD. The damage that is actually going to go into this Malphite is not going to be as big as you'd think. The Malphite does not need a whole lot to do his job, but we got a pick here.
Slim's going to get picked off here. Not going to get a really big solar eclipse. But that's going to be a really big moonfall onto the 3. Rocket is going to miss. Lots of big knockers coming down. Jinx is getting really, really excited. Lots of damage coming down. See if we can get more. Going to get a double kill. Going to get a... Not going to quite get the triple kill. Big Muscle is going to get the last kill. But Epoch is going to go down. Not going to get a return kill. And there goes the triple kill. And that's going to be a 5 for none. That happened. How? Yeah, explain it to me.
They got way too interested in chasing this Leona down, burnt a lot of spells into her, and then in the meantime, she did not fall, had the locket to stay alive, got a solar flare in return, and the Diana specifically, Toaster Bathtub, getting into that backline, hitting a 4-person moonfall, bought so much time. We talked about how as long as they get them down to like half health, Jinx will clean up the rest of the fight, and that is exactly what happened. This game has turned from just the Epoch show into Pre-Medic versus Epoch, and it is 2 heavy hitters going back and forth.
Yeah, man, like at this moment, the scaling is starting to come into effect for Team Edwards. All of them have mythic items now, so now at this point, it's just a matter if the Beluga Beans can't end the game early enough before they get too tanky. Because the tanks mostly have to build armor. Silas isn't too much of a problem at the moment. Like, it's just a matter of can they kind of juke out those really big ultimates, because Milk Bubble Tea isn't really stealing these core ultimates that they need to get and getting that backline access that they so severely need. Devin isn't really doing too much work because, like, in the front line, the Jinx is just free hitting. If you're letting a Jinx with Runan, Infinity Edge, and Kraken Slayer just free hit you with rockets, then you're gonna get burst down no matter what, because Kayn is not... He doesn't have any resistances. You try to pick off the Leona, but the Eclipse, it does flat... it gives you flat resistances, and it also gives you a bunch of damage reduction, flat damage reduction. So that's what makes Leona so unnaturally tanky. Like, it's just so hard to do anything to her.
Yeah, she's very, very beefy at this point, just inherently with that max W. So will be very hard to take down. Devin, right now, I am just really looking at this team composition, and this Jace has started to fall off really, really hard here. The Tristana has not been able to keep up the pace with the Jinx, and the Jinx really is kind of just the big thing to watch here, because yeah, if that kind of poke happens, that will force Jinx to stay way too safe in a fight to be able to participate, and that is a fight that then the Tristana can do something in.
Yeah, right now Jinx is healing up pretty well with the Dorn's Blade still, and she probably, I think she has, yeah, she has Legend Bloodline, so she's going to be healing a lot with that. You're going to get a pick off here. That's a 2. That's a moonfall right into the Super Mega Death Rocket here, and that's going to be a really, really good pick off here. Baron is up on the table. Drake's going to come up at about 150. Either team could get soul point here, so they could look for the Baron right here. 2 of them are dead. Silas has TP. Devin will be up at around the same time, but he could get there fast with his E. But there's going to be a flash forward with the Zen Blade. That's a really weird interaction. Just going to knock him right back out here. And that will be an ult for a flash there. Baron will be started up. Jinx is not there, so they don't do this very, very fast. But they do have a Sunfire Aegis on the Malphite. So they're basically just kind of microwave bake this thing, you know, a little bit, you know, easy bake oven. Gonna do it a little bit slow, but Jinx is here now, gonna do a lot of damage. You're gonna try to zone out the 3 remaining members of the beans. And Slim's just gonna get caught out here, gonna get a 2-man solar flare, so that's gonna deter the Baron right away here. Didn't really commit towards that. Not a little bit of miscommunication there for the gosh darn, my brain is just going oofaroni right now.
Yeah, that will just push them off the Baron now, and a little bit unfortunate for Slim getting caught out. That was something we did see in the previous game, so little bit of that coming back, and you don't want to have that happen in the late game. The longer this game goes, the longer those death timers are going to be. Dragon spawning in about 30 seconds here, and it is very, very crucial here for Nautilus to get the positioning on this. They need to be able to get the start on this and force fights as people try to come in for the vision control.
Yeah, right now, not a lot of vision control for both sides here. Mid lane will push in favor of Team Edward right now. Bot lane will push in favor right now for the Beluga Beans. So both sides are here. This is going to be a 5v5, no teleports. All ults are up. All summoners are up for the key carries. So who is going to get the jump on the gun? Slim's going to get chunked out a lot with the enhanced shock blast there. Look, Tea is on a flank, not on a ward quite yet. Going to steal the Moonfall, not going to take the Malphite ult. Them's going to get a little bit of cheap chunk down, but completely, Team Edward is just going to give up complete river priority to the Beluga Beans here. Never mind, they're just gonna walk right back in. Right now, it's like a war of attrition. Epoch is level 17, so he does a lot of damage with the
This
enhanced
is not
shock blast
here for this fight.
Ooh, looks like there's gonna be a good hook in there, but there's gonna be, in return, a really good Moonfall, but a lot of the damage is gonna be buffered by the Locket. Jinx is not there. She's not getting the regen. She's not quite getting excited as she used to be, but there's a really good flash hook, and Jinx will be taken down. That's the main carry down for the side of Team Edward here. Jinx just gets a triple kill. Milk Bubble Tea gonna go straight in. He's gonna go in, but he's gonna be losing this fight. Drake should fall, but they're just gonna go bot side. They're gonna try to take this inhibitor tower instead.
They don't care about the dragon. They want to crack this base right now. They have actually an opportunity to possibly end this game. At the very least, they're going to get some Nexus towers here.
Yeah, there's only 3 caster minions left. There's going to be another wave coming out. Epoch is going to tank this up, but it looks like they might be able to end the game here. Death timers are only for 10 seconds onto the Jinx, and it looks like they're just going to be ending the game right here. Slim's going to try to do as much as he can, but you only have enough stun for one person, and that will be it. A clean 2-0 for the Beluga Bean.
Yeah, and that is great shot calling there to be able to make the call to go in at that point there. It was basically the big thing there was Premedic was not in that fight. He was down in the bot lane farming for the, I don't know if it was the Krugs or if he was farming the wave, but being there and not at the dragon fight, your team either needs to sacrifice that dragon, which you can do. It is the 3rd dragon either way. Just sacrifice the dragon, let him have that, or the Jinx needs to be at that fight. I don't know why Jinx was down there and not communicating to that, but that is really what cost them that game.
Yeah, man, just really, really good macro decision there. The Jinx is blowing it up, but Jinx came in really, really late, gets caught out by that flash Nautilus hook. Very well done by QB56, definitely making up for a lot of those inty plays earlier. So that's pretty much the game there. Like, they were coming back. They were making a resurgence. They pretty much never had a lead at all in the game, but they pretty much got complete aces every single, for like the past 2 or 3 full-on team fights. They got aces, but eventually they just couldn't really convert that into any objective because none of them were up.
There were
beans,
a couple of points that they did get some objectives down. The biggest thing was just the lanes once again fell really, really far behind. Bot lane did start pulling away, but it was because of mistakes that were made by Beluga Beans. But the actual like engage, the actual forward momentum created by Team Edward was just never ever there. It was always reactionary and punishing over engagements. So I think honestly the biggest thing that Team Edward need to do is they need to try and work on making calls where they can pick people off, get things going on their front and force teams to react to them. Whereas like Beluga Beans, they did really well, but those late game the late game is never really strong in any of their compositions. So it's going to be really tough for them if they ever try to run that same composition, but like fight a team that is more coordinated with a late game team comp.
Yeah, man, just at the end of the day, it came down to a single hook and a single hunk of Krugs that ended the game for Team Edward here. Could not take us to a game 3. Congratulations to Beluga Beans. Get this 2-0 here. Congratulations, Team Edwards. putting up a really good fight in the end. But in the end, they're going to go down the standings to 0-3, and Beluga Beans will go up to 3-0 this time around.
Yeah, big congratulations to Beluga Beans. Well deserved. And I'm excited to see what they are able to do then in the next coming weeks here because clearly they have a win condition around this mid laner. Epoch is just absurdly good here. But like, what are they going to do when they fight a team that is just, able to match that mid lane at the very least?
Yeah, man. Right now, the Beluga Beans, they have their lives together. They got their team together. Team Edwards, I want to see a little bit more decisiveness in their calls, a little bit more communication. But in the end, Beluga Beans will pick up the win here. They're going to go 2-0, go up in the standings. But for now, who do you think would be MVP? Honestly, I don't need to say. Let me reword that. Who do we know is the MVP of this
I mean,
series?
it's Epoch, obviously. Like there's no other way to put it there. I think honestly, this game was a little bit less impressive than the first game, but still very strong. The laning phase is just so hard to deal with this player because he's just so aggressive.
Yeah, man, that CSing is just insane. Pretty much throughout the entire game, he had about a 10 or 9. Throughout this whole series, he averaged about 10 CS a minute, which is just insane to think about with relative to how many kills, how much damage, and all that he did throughout this series. And it's just really crazy to think that somebody in a low plat could average that much CS. Like that's just experience talking, you know,
Hmm.
just taking dividends here. But
Yeah.
as the series has come to an end, so does the stream. So on behalf of Risen Esports, Open Unstoppable, myself and my co-caster Thousand Eyes, wish y'all a good night and be safe out there.